So then I was like, okay, business is my passion, and it really is. And for you entrepreneurs out there, business, it is a passion. It has to be a passion. You give more of yourself to a business than I think you can to anything else. It is part of you, and you live and breathe it. And it's really, it's something that's really important is that even if you fail, it doesn't really matter. You will really learn from that. So I got back on my feet, and I started the Rainmakers. And with the Rainmakers, I did it slightly differently. The Rainmakers I wholly own. I didn't get any investment for. We have a kind of portfolio of companies that we invest in. We have about 15 active products, or product lines. So we have everything from live music companies to postal systems to medical devices. We get asked to do the most random stuff. The most unusual thing we were ever asked to do was put somebody's logo on the moon, which we came up with a nice optical illusion for, which would have worked. But now, really, the Rainmakers is really concentrating on environmental technology, so we're doing a lot in the green space, and that's very exciting, very, very good space to be in at the moment. And we get investment for our companies. So when I come up with a new idea, I go out and actively raise investment. And this is really important because, I could actually fund a lot of the companies we raise capital for. But what you should try and achieve with investment is bring more than just money. You should try and bring intelligent money, which means that if you can find other people to come on board that will add more than just money, then you're doing very well. So I still bring in people to invest in our companies. Now, if you're considering investment, what do you look for? I mean, you're starting up a company. What are your options? Well, it's a bit different if you're an existing company, but as a startup company, your options are really bank finance, for instance, where you can go to the bank and go, yes, I've got this great idea. Now, generally, I know there's a few bankers out there, but I only ever find the banks want to lend me money when I don't need it. And if they do lend you money, they want you to put your house on the line. So I don't actually generally do bank finance. The other option is friends and family. Lots of entrepreneurs do friends and family. It's a good way of raising investment because they don't need to check up on you. Very little due diligence. You don't have to go through any process, and it can be relatively quick. But I give you this one word of warning with friends and family, and this is really important. For crying out loud, make sure that they can lose the money, because you've got to live with that person for the rest of your life. And if you lose that money, it can happen. So just make sure if you do a friends and family round, you're prepared, or they understand that they're prepared that they can lose that money. Of course, the other option is angel funding, which is people like me or other individuals that have a little bit of capital come together and invest in a fund. And generally, that's a very good way of raising money because you generally get more than just money. You get intelligent money, which hopefully the person that's passionate about it enough to put in, say, £25,000 or £50,000 is going to bring a lot more than just the money. Hopefully they bring experience of being in the industry you're in, or maybe able to give you brilliant contacts. And then, of course, for startups, there are VCs. VC startup is quite a challenge because you have to really have a team that have done it before. But this is exactly the kind of maze that these guys will help you get through. If you're an existing business, one of the things that actually was brought up is why do I need investment? I have a business that is turning over a good amount of money. We're growing year on year. Got a bit of a cash reserve. Why would I bring in other money? Well, quite simply, you can accelerate your business substantially by bringing in further investment. And because you're an existing business, it's actually relatively a lot easier to raise money because you've got a few more options. You can go for grants, especially if you've got a very focused sector like the green sector or biotech. You can raise grants, or you can raise VC money very well. And also angels are quite interested because they like to accelerate existing businesses that have high growth potential, and they're willing just to really take something and run with it. And I invest on that basis quite a lot. So what are the tactics to raise money? You're an entrepreneur. What do you do apart from come and grab me at the end? First of all, network. Get out there. You've got to knock on doors. That's really, really important. Networking is key. The more people you meet, the more chance you'll meet the person that's going to invest, or at least introduce you to the investment. Network with these guys. It's really, really important. Work hard. Raising money isn't easy. It's hard work. You get to be turned down time after time. You just got to keep banging on those doors. And if you haven't raised money in 6 months, there may be something you need to look at in your plan, because generally, if you haven't got an offer from the time you start to 6 months, if you haven't got an offer on the table, then there's probably some tweaking you need to do with what you're trying to propose. But again, I'm a great believer, if you work hard enough, you will get the investment you need. Also, adapt and research. If you're raising money and you're going to an investor, and that investor was an accountant, then tailor your presentation to concentrate on the numbers. If the person is a passionate business person, creative, tailor your business plan to that. It's about these little things that you can do to really get people excited about the business, because at the end of the day, investors are people. They want to get excited about what they're doing.